Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We are facing an anticipated doctor.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could loop back for me on how this vision of a fluid information environment and all sorts of applications interacting through APIs comes back to that doctor whose picture you put out, who's flustered.
Well, I think one of the reasons why doctors don't recommend becoming a doctor is the amount of time they waste on crap, right? On license, on billing, on HIPAA, on defensive medicine that they don't believe in, doing patient care that they're not the best at, but it's all they have right now. So I think if we create more of a concentrated cocktail for doctors of the actual stuff that they're good at, that'll be inspiring. It'll also mean we need fewer. So that shortage will be a lot less of a shortage if, for example, in the OBGYN example, if OBs, if obstetricians actually only were used for women who were pregnant and sick, or maybe marginally at risk of being sick, you'd need a lot fewer of them. They'd have a lot more fun, right? Because they'd be working complex cases all the time. They'd make a lot more money, right? But like I said, there'd be a lot fewer of them. So I think that's the basic arbitrage that a healthcare internet will allow. Athena's, raison d'etre is the creation of a healthcare internet.
So I noticed too in a bunch of your slides, in several references to telemedicine, particularly for low acuity cases, right? Basic care. Is this something that's coming that consumers have to get used to, or is this going to always be an option?
Yeah, and I mean get used to. As I mentioned in the speech, 62 million patients are covered and don't want it. Even after $1,000 a month, they still say, "Farm Bull, I don't want what you're offering. I'd rather just pay and not get it." That's pretty amazing. Like what I'd like is nothing, please. The idea that you could maybe at least get, your kid's ear infection prescribed for without going and waiting in line. You can go to CVS, or you can talk to someone on the phone, or you can stick an iPhone in their ear. Hopefully not the whole phone.
So I had an appointment. I live in Ohio. I went to HealthSpot Station, had a Rite Aid. Cleveland Clinic saw me, but I did.
You're on Athena now.
Yeah, and I work in technology, but I still had a shift, like this idea that I could actually see my ear here while he was looking, which was super cool. Right? And
that's
so
very Plaintree. Like I'll show you what I'm doing here.
I thought this was going to be like a cold experience, but it was actually a pretty good experience.
There you go. And it doesn't have to be great. Like the point is compared to nothing, it's probably okay. And what's fun about these kinds of innovations at the low end is you're comparing yourself to nothing at all, or something you hate with a vengeance. That's a good baseline. I wasn't a good athlete. I don't like playing games that everyone already knows the rules, and people have already gotten good at it. I prefer games that no one's ever. I'd like to be the first Quidditch player.
So what's driving? So this is why, because so many patients are like, I don't want it, right? So what's driving the innovation? Is it the market, or is it that the market is seeing the innovation work in other sectors?
It's funny, right? So the most important R&D in healthcare, I think, is business model R&D, is research. The technology exists. Look at Waze. Look at all the things that we take for granted and use all the time that are just instantly grappling on to thousands of people we've never met and getting smarter every second. And that in healthcare is just rock dumb. It's computers from the 80s. So I really think the technology is not the problem, it's the business model. For that reason, how do you make more money making more connections? The problem with Plaintree so far is it's these true believers that are just, it's all heart. What you need is half id and half super ego, right? You want Evil Bill and Evil Ted to take over the adventure and build a Plaintree hospital. That's what we're trying to. That's what we need in the system, is more of. And I think these risk contracts, not ACOs, but as Zeke Emanuel, it's basically, he calls it a training bra for full risk. If you haven't, done it before, you're not used to it, you're not ready for an insurance license, it's like, how do I get from here to there? Maybe an ACO is a start. But definitely that idea of shopping. And it doesn't have to be global cap. It could be shopping for hips, shopping for knees, shopping for babies, causing some product management. I think of Plaintree as product management comes to healthcare. Right? You have all these geniuses. There's nobody in product management. There's no VP of product management at a hospital. Right? There's nobody in charge of there's a senior VP at Apple, senior VP of the out-of-box experience. Like a senior VP in charge of what it's like to open your computer. At Athena we have VPs of product management. What is that functional equivalent in healthcare? That's what we need. And you need a business model that makes a better product, make more money.
As we're starting to see, like chief experience officers.
Same idea,
right?
Absolutely. And experience design firms instead of just instead of screen designs, the whole experience before you get to the screen, after you leave the screen. Exactly.
So, and you talked a little bit about the ACA and having good intentions, certainly not a perfect piece of legislation.
Right.
I'm wondering if you could just tell me a little bit about the portion of it that ties certain Medicare reimbursements back to patient satisfaction. Right. So certain.
Well, the committee that took on it's always the devil's in the details, right? And the devil's in charge of how often you get to change the details in government. So part of the patient satisfaction things is all the forms have to go out on paper. Are you kidding me? Right. So the amount of just drag and the kinds of questions were created by committee, it's not that impulse, did you like it? Not? You want to rate it? It's not. You're not allowed to do that and have it count. The idea of patient experience mattering.
To finish the survey.
Right, exactly. So you got to be kidding me, The idea is great, but what would be better is if you didn't like it, you'd fire it, not lose your chart, not lose your work, not lose your progress, but be able to say, okay, I'm now pointing all of this stuff from your node to Dr. Jones's node, because Dr. Jones is at a Plaintree Hospital, and so from here forward, it's going to be Dr. Jones and Happy Valley Medical Center, and not, University of Go to Hell.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.